miracle, baby.
Yeah.
Miracle, miracle serves. Miracle, miracle serves. Miracle, miracle serves. Miracle serves.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is June the 25th, 2025, and today the topic is fruit versus marshmallows. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Tuesday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good. Overall, man, look, day 3. All right. It was so funny because yesterday, I know Elizabeth was like, "Does this mean the juice is back on?" Like, I don't know. Then my mom called. She's like, "I saw you did the juice." I'm like, "Yeah, mama, okay. I don't know. Look, as the Lord leads. And then this morning, as I'm writing, here go my husband advocating for y'all, talking about some, hey, they getting a new juice today. I said, oh. I said, I'm working on it right now. So, I mean, I know y'all probably got nervous because it's around 7 o'clock. And it wasn't 5 or whatever time I was recording before. And like I said, I used to be very adamant about being out before 6, but you know, I guess I started getting loose. But it wasn't just me though, y'all. I mean, I would do it as I receive it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still on my flexible timing. So most likely it'll still be in the morning times, but we'll see. We'll see, because we know that the Lord has done whatever he wanted to do with the juice with me. So anywho, I'm back. I'm back for day 3. And yeah, man, I think I got a little something for y'all this morning. You know, so a little something, maybe sweet, maybe not, depending on where you are spiritually. I want to share with you guys about my day, but I can do that in the after show so we don't waste time. Like, some people just came for the juice. They like, we didn't come for your backstory miracle. Okay. Or y'all can let me know in the comments if y'all like it when I say what happened the day before and stuff before I get into the nitty gritty. But I'm gonna save that for the after show. Let's go ahead and talk about this conversation of fruit versus marshmallows. Now, the interesting thing is, what time did I wake up this morning? I woke up, I think, around 3:28, something like that. And I was trying to remember the dream that I had. So I was trying to like make notes of that, and as well as put it to the side so I don't forget to look up Bible verses related to the time I wake up. You know, I always do that. But then I kept going back to sleep. So the next alarm that I heard was like the 5 o'clock alarm, which is very interesting because I usually have my, my 4 o'clock alarm is the one that goes off every day. And then these other alarms have just been set for random times if I had to get up for something else or whatever. So I didn't even know I had a 5 o'clock alarm, but that's the one I woke up to this morning after that initial 3 something. And then I took the time to listen to the prayer meditation, or at least I tried to. I put it on and then I went back to sleep. So then so when I woke back up again at whatever time, I can't remember what time that was, then I'll put it on again to listen to it again. I still don't know how much listening I actually did to it, y'all, to be honest. Like, I don't really remember what it was about at all. But I think by the time I woke up the 3rd or 4th time, that's when this title, Fruit versus Marshmallows, came into my heart and mind. I'm like, okay, Lord, fruit versus marshmallows. So I'm like, okay, I think this is a juice. Let me make a note. You know what I mean? So I started looking into this, and I got more information about marshmallows than anything. So I found that to be very, very interesting. But hopefully you guys are tracking with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go on this journey with me and help. And I hope that it helps to get a understanding about, I guess, what I received today. And hopefully it will encourage you and inspire you. Look. There go y'all's advocate now coming in the door. Hey, husband. I told the people how you've been advocating for them and the juice.
3 times in a row. People are blessed.
Oh, wow, Levy. Thank you so much. You out of here?
Mhm.
Oh.
I left my socks.
Oh, okay. You ain't gonna come back in?
Mm.
Y'all want to see the cheesy kiss? Really? Air kisses today?
The people want to see you.
Look, y'all miss seeing him, right? You know, he only been on the channel one time. Slowly, Marley, slowly closes the door. Get out of here. That's my husband, y'all. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Well, look, without him, you know, would I have a roof over my head to be able to do this? Probably not. But anyway, look, everybody plays their part. You know what I mean? Love you, baby. I guess we go. All right, so friends, let's go ahead and get into this conversation, y'all. Fruit versus marshmallows. Okay. I went and looked up the definition of marshmallows, y'all. Yep, I did. This is what the definition says. It says a soft, chewy confection made of sugar and gelatin. So I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I just write the definition down. Now, here's the interesting thing. I saw a second definition. This is what it said. A tall, pink flowered European plant that grows in the brackish marshes. And then it says the roots were formerly used to make marshmallow, and it is sometimes cultivated for medicinal use. So I'm over here like, okay. Now I know I've heard of marshmallow root before. What did I? Something back in the day. Oh, there was this brand of shampoo. It was like a natural shampoo that was made of fruit, and I remember them saying that they had this marshmallow shampoo or something like that, and I wanted to try it back in the day, but I never did. And I know they were saying something about that particular brand. They were like, you have to keep it refrigerated or something like that, like because it was fruit, you know, real fruit that it was made of and stuff. But I never tried it. I never did try it. I don't even know if they are still in operation. But regardless of that, right? So I was reminded of the marshmallow root. And I was like, oh yeah, that is, you know, made of marshmallow. I was like, so there's a story to this whole marshmallow thing. Because, you know, why did they stop making it from the root and the flour? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I went deeper about that. We'll talk about that in a second. But before I get into that, friends, I saw the slang definition for marshmallow. All right, y'all ready? This is what the slang definition for marshmallow says. Straight up, the first thing it says is coward. That might be Pope already. Like, all right, I don't know. Has anyone ever called you a marshmallow? Then that's what they mean. I mean, well, I'm not kidding about the slang. I'm kidding about people calling you that. But anywho, then it said a person not strong or confident. I was like, ooh, that's a lot to think about when it comes to this marshmallow thing, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, we talking about the marshmallow itself, how it was made and how it's no longer, you know, well, I guess some people still use it for medicinal uses and stuff like that, but the actual marshmallow that we know, you know, isn't necessarily has any benefits at all, you know. And I can't, you know, lie. One of the things, as soon as I was writing down, I think once I received the title and was writing down the definition, I was reminded of yesterday, the dream that I had. Because I told y'all about the chicken nugget part, but I didn't tell y'all about the slushy part. There was some part in the dream that, you know, people were getting slushies and whatnot. And when I was thinking about that yesterday, it kind of made me think about, again, substance versus just something that's not much substance. You know what I mean? Because what is a slushy? Like ice, food coloring, sugar. You know what I mean? Like juice. You know what I mean? So it's not really, doesn't have much depth to it, right? And so same like marshmallows, I had already put it in that category, but the Lord, like I said, went deeper about this marshmallow thing, y'all. So I mean, being a coward, not being strong, not being confident, that's a lot already as well. But when I looked more into the story behind the marshmallow, friends, I mean, I ain't gonna tell y'all every little detail. Y'all could probably go Google it for yourself. But the parts that was kind of standing out to me is that that yes, they first started making marshmallow with the roots. But then at some point, I guess to start mass producing it and things like that, they started to use like the gelatin. I think even something else that I don't know if I wrote it down. but whatever, they were doing it to be able to mass produce the marshmallow. And here's what I received when thinking about that process, friends. It went from a natural fruit of creation, which we talked about that yesterday, right? We talked about the things that God say is good, the things he created, right? Natural things, right? It went from that, right? And which came with medicinal uses and properties and stuff like that. I didn't write down any of the things that it could do, but it did a few things. um, and then so it went from this natural thing to being a fluff with no root. Did y'all hear that? A fluff with no root. Now I think that was very, very interesting because obviously the Bible talks a lot about fruit and use this gardening reference. I mean, your girl used it as well in my book. Look, the cultivation period, a single Christian's journey, right? There is something to this whole gardening thing, right? And then obviously there's something to be, connected to the root, right? And to bear fruit. I didn't go deeper when it comes to like definitions about fruit and stuff like that, because I mean, I feel like there's plenty, right, that you guys can peruse and let marinate on your own heart, souls, and minds about that, especially in the Bible. But let's get into what I did feel led to look into. So here are some verses that were standing out to me. Now, before I get into them, friends, I noticed that all of them, I believe, are from John 15. So it might behoove us to take a look at John 15 in its entirety. I didn't put that in the Go Deeper section, but you could do that, you know what I'm saying, on your own. What I put in the Go Deeper section was another one of those openbible.info searches. And I just pretty much put the title of what came to me, which was the fruit versus marshmallows. I put that into openbible.info and I got majority of these verses. But I got a few of these verses. I felt like I wanted to go deeper, and so I did it again with only the word fruit, and that's why I got these verses that I feel led to share right now. But I also felt led to tell you guys to just go back and put in that original phrase so y'all can see verses and see what the Lord wants to share with you about this particular topic, right? But here are the verses that I felt led to share this morning. So we're going to take a look at John 15 and 5 first, okay? It says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Now, friends, at the end of the day, look, this is not a quote from Miracle Sims, okay? Now, I'm not the root and the fruit and the vine, you know what I mean? Like, this is the Lord Jesus Christ talking to us, okay? He's letting us know that apart from him, we can do nothing. Again, apart from the root, right? The marshmallow ain't nothing but fluff, gelatin, some sugar, you know what I'm saying? And again, we're going to go deeper about that. We're going to go deeper about that. But if we just stay on the fruit side for a moment, there's this really big thing again in the Bible about bearing fruit, y'all. I told y'all I was watching Chosen the other day, and it had that moment where Jesus cursed the fig tree and things like that, and then they kind of went deeper about that later on. And I'm not sorry if it's spoilers or whatever, but I mean, I guess the Bible is a big spoiler because I mean. It's already been spoiled. There was this part where Jesus cursed the fig tree. But anyway, but yeah, they went deeper about that, and in the scenes or whatever, the Jesus character, right, was pretty much, reminding the people that, if you don't bear fruit, basically the Lord has no use for you. And I mean, there's a lot of things that the Bible says about that in regards to, being burned in the fire and all these different type of things. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I can't help but think about HE double hockey sticks when they talking about burning fire. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother, conversation. But yeah, I mean, there is something to bearing fruit. We must be bearing fruit. And then in the midst of that, I mean, obviously, again, there's different seasons. If you bear fruit, then look, the Lord's going to prune you to do what? Bear more fruit, things like that. So it's very, very important. And again, but you can't bear fruit without being connected to the root. And we said that is what? Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So let's keep going. Here's another verse that's in John 15. It's John 15 and 8. It says, by this, my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit and so prove to be my disciples. So again, in order to be Christ's disciple, we got to be out here bearing fruit. Now it might look different. Like for me, I guess it looks like getting up and doing the juice and creating stuff for GSL and doing the stuff that the Lord lead me to do here and at the church and whatever else. Being a wife, mom, that's my fruits and whatnot that the Lord got me doing right now. Now I don't know what that looks like for you, but whatever it is, Lord, I pray that you guys are encouraged and inspired to get it going. You know what I'm saying? Start bearing some fruit. And don't get discouraged, right? Just because somebody else's garden and orchard or whatever looks a little different, maybe a little bigger or smaller or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be we got to stop playing the comparison game. And I know that can be hard to do, especially in this social media world where everybody can see what everybody's doing or everybody can see what everybody's posting and stuff like that, what they post to be doing. But yeah, I mean, let's not be discouraged about looking at anybody else's garden, right? Let's get with the Lord and see what it is that he wants us to do. Because guess what? Whatever that is, friends, is very important, right? For you and your circle of influence. So I hope that encourages you guys. Let me give you guys another verse. It's John 15:2. It says, every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. All right, we talked about that a second ago, but it continues here to say, and every branch that does bear fruit, let's see, he prunes that it may bear more fruit. So again, there was this moment, I think it was last year, that I really felt as if I was being pruned, and I was like, it don't feel good. I'm losing friends, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, or associates, I guess. That's what they turned out to be, I guess. I'm looking around and there's, things are, there's all these different things that can make the pruning process difficult, right? But at the same time, it's such a blessing, right, to be pruned to bear more fruit. Actually, that's a good sign, right? If you're getting pruned, then you are preparing to bear more fruit. And so I hope again that this can be encouraging and inspiring to know that, like, again, you could be going through rough season times and you're like, well, Lord, why this and why that? Like, why did I have to be pruned? Why did I have to lose this friend? Why did this have to go this way? Whatever the case may be. But when you come out on the other side, you'll see fruit, right? You'll see the blessings. You'll see that some things you couldn't access until those people left your life. You know what I'm saying? We can go on and on and on about examples here, but basically, just reminding people about the process, right? Either be connected to the fruit, the vine, the root, right? And to, and bear fruit and get pruned so you can bear more fruit. Or the other option is to just be thrown away, right? To not bear no fruit at all and don't have any purpose and serve any purpose. And I mean, I don't know which sounds best to you, right? But I'm okay with the, what, I'm going to bear fruit, get pruned, bear some more fruit. This side of life has been the blessed side for me. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, again, I tell y'all all the time, but when I was sitting there feeling like something's missing, something ain't right, all these different things like that, I don't want to go back to those days. Like, I mean, I pushed through, and shout out to old Miracle, you know what I'm saying, for making the choices that she did at those particular times to get me to where I am today, right? But those times could be, even though I was able to push through, for someone else, those could be those detrimental times. Those could be those times that we call like rock bottom, right? Those could be those times where people take their life because they're depressed. And, all these things can happen in those seasons where we are out of order, right? When we're not connected to the vine, where we are not bearing fruit and stuff like that. And so if that's where you are today, friends, I hope again that anything that I've shared and said already can, help, with that and help you again to connect to the vine. I mean, the best way to connect is to get in the word for yourself. Yes, it's good. Look, come listen to the juice. You know what I'm saying? Go to church and listen to what the pastor got to say. All of that is great, right? But you got to be getting into the word for yourself at the end of the day. Like, you got to be reading it for yourself. You have to be studying it for yourself. Yeah, because at the end of the day, nobody else can stand up for you, right? But you. So that's juice all by itself, friends. But let me give you guys, I guess, just a few final little things to think about. So here's some things about let me see, did I tell y'all this? Okay, so here's some more little notes I was making about marshmallows, friends. I don't think I got a chance to tell you guys these. So y'all ready? Here we go. Marshmallows, they pretty much represents a form without foundation. Ooh. I hope I ain't talking to no marshmallows today because this is crazy. There's a lot to be said about this particular thing, but yeah, a form without foundation. Another thing it represents is sweetness without substance. Okay, we talked about that when it came to the slushes and whatnot. Sweetness without substance. Something else, something that melts. Ooh, I can help but think about when you put the marshmallow in the fire, for instance, it's gonna melt. You know what I'm saying? And now don't get me wrong, I enjoy the good old, s'more every now and then, stuff like that. But do you want to last through the fire, right? Or do you want to melt and turn to mush and stuff like that when the fire comes? Because again, we know that as believers there's going to be ups and downs in life, and we're going to be going through the fiery furnaces or whatever the case may be. And so we don't want to melt, right? We want to stay strong. We want to have a firm foundation. We want to be connected to the vine so we can bear fruit, right? And be pruned so we can bear more fruit, right? Here's a few more things to think about when it comes to this, friends. Some teachings, lifestyles, or choices look appealing but don't sustain you spiritually. I know this might be pulp, y'all. Y'all might not want to hear this, man, but it's the truth, man. Some of the things that look good, some of the things that's fluffed up real nice and stuff like that, it don't sustain us at the end of the day. Like, I think those that have been through some stuff in their life, they eventually see that, right? And then say, you know what, Lord, what is it that you want of me? What is it? And you start focusing on the will of God, right? Because you'll start to see, like, at some point your eyes open to the reality that, you know what, well, here was something that stood out to me all those years ago. I felt like the Lord was sharing with me that, hey, the only thing that was going to last was what I did for him. And so at that point I started to seek him about what he wanted me to do, because I wanted to do something that was going to last at the end of the day. So here I am today. I feel like walking in purpose, walking in the Lord's will, and doing the things that he has led me to do. And I feel very fulfilled by doing that. Like, so much fulfilled, because that I'm so content that I'm like, I stay right here and just keep doing this. Even though I know that there's other things down the line and stuff like that. And I don't know exactly what and all that. But what I'm saying is that obviously I know that the Lord has his plans that go way beyond, me and my little ideas. But regardless of that, again, I'm at peace with that. And again, I say this over and over, friends, because I hope y'all, I'm really trying to help y'all understand something about me, like how I used to be. Like, I used to really get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I used to really, like, if I wasn't getting views or if I wasn't getting feedback or, all those type of things would discourage me back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, so God did a whole new thing when it came to GSL, because once I stepped out on faith and started doing this, I was like, okay, well, the one thing that has to change is my mindset about it, right? I got to just do it regardless. I don't care if it's one view. I don't care if it's, nobody's ever says anything. If the Lord got me to come over here this morning and do this, I'm going to have to just do it and be obedient regardless of the feedback. And by the grace of God, these days, every now and then, I get some words of affirmation. Shout out to those of you guys that have been commenting and sharing how you feel about the juice. I mean, I even had someone yesterday to say that they enjoyed both juices over the past couple of days. So that means something to me. I greatly appreciate it. And so this is day 3. I hope you are receiving and feel the same way with what again, the Lord is saying with me, for me, and through me today. But regardless, right, I just really used to be in this place where I guess I could be easily influenced from, I guess, other people, their opinions, and all these different type of things. And I'm still working on all that, y'all. For at the end of the day, I'm still human out here. I'm not perfect by any means, but what I'm saying is that to be in this place of contentment, right? To be in this place of peace, to be in this place where I still have love, joy, and all the things. And I'm literally telling you, all I'm doing is just being like, Lord, what you want me to do? And then doing it. And it's been life-changing, friends. And so, I know I'm not the only one experiencing this. You know, at the end of the day, the biblical figures, they experienced it in their own ways, and there's plenty of believers that are out here experiencing it now as well. And I'm not saying just do it because everybody else is doing it. I'm just saying give it a try for you in your life. Because at the end of the day, again, God's no respecter of persons. What He do for me, He can do for you. And so, yeah, I said a lot right there. I hope that helps you. Let me give you guys another thing. I think I had another little note about this. Here's a question. All right, here's a question you guys can go deeper with on your own. Are we rooted like fruit or whipped up like fluff? Ask yourself that today, friends. All right. I mean, I think you guys have received the juice from little old me today. I mean, y'all, like I said, y'all can go deeper. Go to openbible.info, plug in that phrase, fruit versus marshmallows, and see what else the Lord wants to share with you guys about this. But yeah, everything I said is ultimately the juice. I hope you guys are encouraged and inspired to be more like fruit than marshmallows. And that's it, man. That's the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Matthew 5:5. It says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all whenever the Lord brings me back, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. It's at the show time. Hey, y'all. Oh, man. Thank you again, man. Thank you to anybody that has, listened, like, subscribe, any of those things. You comment and leave me words of affirmation. I greatly, greatly appreciate that as well. Shout out to, those in my ear, y'all, little husband, child, mom, all of you guys that are, I guess, advocates for the juice. Like I said, man, I really have been missing this part of my life, man, and I'm enjoying coming back. I did show my husband yesterday, though. I was like, look, man, at the end of the day, the Lord was leading me to write for a while, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up using it recently for an opportunity. I don't know what the Lord gonna do or whatever, but I ended up using it for an opportunity and stuff like that. And I'm like, if I didn't have those things written, all I'm saying is I wouldn't have had that to submit. Well, not saying I wouldn't have had nothing, but easy access to my writings, basically. So we'll see what happens with that. And speaking of that, yes, there was a juice that came out at 6 as well in the community. I haven't typed anything else since the other day, so I don't know if those have stopped now or what. And I enjoyed making those, so y'all always can let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all like the typed out juices? This is the juice that came out today. Speaking of opportunities, this one's called "Opportunities Are Endless and Everywhere." So y'all can read what I feel like the Lord was giving me about that. See, there's plenty. Do y'all actually be reading it? That's the thing. Like, I don't know if y'all just see the images and then people just like the images, but I'm like, hopefully people actually take the time to read. I think some people do, because that y'all been telling me that every now and then. Those are in our community, guys, on the GSL YouTube channel. Let's go to the community. All right. But that's the last one that I typed so far. So we'll see if I have more of those coming my way, or if I'm gonna just still be doing this. Like, look, 3 days in a row. Look, okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's what the Lord want to do. But like I said, I'm a little hesitant to say I'll be back tomorrow just in case, because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yep, the Lord did give me this morning. I hope that, like I said, it's encouraging and inspiring. If y'all care about my day yesterday, yesterday, me and the kid, we went and had I guess a little fun at some different libraries actually, but yeah, well, one y'all might have saw that your girl was blessed with lunch from YouTube. Yeah, so we did post about it in the community. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? They gave me some partner perks, y'all. So I went. So my partner perks that they gave me was this gift card to Chipotle. So I got a little $15. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to go get me some lunch yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So that was nice, So shout out to you too for that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Bless you, girl, with some lunch. I actually ended up with dinner for my husband too because, well, things happen for a reason. So, but when it was happening, it was like, because what had happened was, so I wanted to go ahead and place my order online, so then I could just pick it up, right, and just make it easy to use the card, so I don't have to worry about like, oh, let me pull up my screen and here, can you put the QR code? I didn't want to do none of that type of stuff, so I placed my order online. But when I placed it, I knew there was gonna be a little buffer because it's $15, you know what I'm saying? So depending on what you get, right, it's gonna be some change, some tax, stuff like that. So there was a few dollars, difference or whatever. And so I put my card on there, and then come to find out they charged the whole thing on my card. I'm like, oh no. YouTube is playing for this today, right? So I canceled that order, and then I reordered it with make a pick card and all that type of stuff. And then when I pull up to the Chipotle yesterday, they handed me 2 bags. I'm like, I canceled this, and I think they refunded it. So look, blessings on blessings and favor, I guess, y'all. So hubby had some Chipotle when he got home for dinner or whatever. So, shout out to YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Greatly appreciate y'all, blessing your girl. I also took NJ to the little lunch and whatnot. And then the library has some activities. So they had the kids, be able to do some chalk art and stuff like that. I guess I can show y'all these little things. So, yeah, so he did like chalk art yesterday. I mean, listen, y'all, if y'all ain't got stuff to do with your kids, go take them to the library, man. Take them to the library. So he did that. We took some moments to just read in the library. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. He's showing me the book. And then we went to this other library and we colored, you know what I'm saying? So we had some little coloring time. I see that he's been experiencing, so that's mine right there. He's been experimenting with his color palette, friends. Take a look at his photo. Like he trying to be like me, I think, but he's mixing like his colors for the sky and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I see you, kiddo. And then we were the only ones that was at the story time. So we had like a one-on-one personal story time. Shout out to this awesome librarian. She read a couple of stories to him. They were like interactive stories, and they seemed to have a good old little time. So that was our yesterday. And stuff like that, enjoying lunch. We went shopping a little bit. I went to Dollar Tree because I guess I could tell y'all. So those of y'all that listen and follow me here and stuff like that, then y'all can get, I guess, extra details about me and my life, right? So it is currently on the schedule. One of the opportunities that the Lord has blessed me with that is confirmed is that Mom Bomb has asked me to officially host on their TikTok. And so because of that, we might be doing it every week. So we've talked about me doing it maybe like every Thursday, which is so interesting because y'all know that Thursday is my work day. But because of my idea and my concept, I'm thinking like it'll be a good time to do it because then whatever I feel about work will be real. Because I can be like, let's relax after a day of work. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And so I'm going to be taking over Mom Bomb's TikTok on Thursdays at 8 p.m. That is the plan. And so yeah, you guys can tune in and shop. Look, but shop for a purpose, because y'all know that Mom Bomb, their profits go to help mothers in crisis, right? And so thank you, Mom Bomb, for considering me for that. And yeah, man, that should be happening real soon. We're supposed to kick it off this week. It hasn't been confirmed just yet. I mean, I confirmed on my end, but they haven't confirmed on their end if they were going to be ready to kick it off this week. But I went and shopped for some little stuff to make sure, because I wanted to display my bath salts and whatnot. Like, for those of y'all that's still here, I can show y'all a couple of Mom Bomb things if you want while I'm here. I got some right there. I guess I'll go ahead and do it because nobody's really commenting right now, but I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you anyway. All right, so let me show you guys some of these salts since we're talking about it. They have like 4 new salts now. And so I can just show y'all, give y'all a little preview of their product line. All right, so they got salts, they got bath bombs, stuff like that. They got 4 new fragrances, flavors. I have you want to look at it. This one is lavender honey, friends. All right, as you guys can see, it's a mineral Epsom salt, and they can be used for multi purposes as well. You can use it in the bath, the shower, and as a foot soak. All right, so this is the lavender honey. All right, and then another fragrance that they've come out with is pink Himalayan. Now it's gonna be better displayed when I do it on theirs because I'm gonna actually take it out of the packaging, and I got these little fancy jars. So now I got all these little fancy jars to put my little bath salts in and stuff like that. And then here's another one, coconut lime. All right, so that's another one of the fragrances. Okay, this say up to 6 baths per bag, but man, I can make a bag like this last so long. Like, maybe I don't put enough in or something. I don't know, but I feel like you can make it last. Here's the last one. It's eucalyptus rose. All right. So these are just the bath salts. They all smell amazing. They all smell amazing. And man, listen, a good old mom bomb package coming in your mailbox, man, smells amazing. So yeah, they've come out with some different bombs now too, bigger bombs. And but I think mostly I'm going to be talking about the bath salts this week if we do go live. Because I don't think I have the other ones. They have these gift sets that are really beautiful and pretty. I had made this little promo and everything for it, man. I even made a theme song for it. Look, shout out to AI, man, because you can do all kinds of stuff with AI these days. And so I made a theme song real quick. Y'all want to hear my theme song? Maybe I'm sharing with you guys too much. Go to that TikTok on Thursday and you can hear it, everything. But anywho, so that is coming up soon. Like I said, shout out to Mom Bomb for the opportunity to, be a influencer for them and their platform. Yesterday I saw so many of the ladies of Unwind. I got this group on Facebook called Unwind Self-Care, and there's quite a few ladies in that group. I mean, it should be all ladies, but I mean, I think some gentlemen may have snuck in there a little bit. It's like a private group, but anyway, there's so many ladies that are doing amazing things. Some of the ladies that have been on the show before, on the GSL Talk Show. One lady is named Michaela, and I used to work with her a long time ago, but obviously since COVID and stuff, she lives in Colorado now, I think, and she's a flight attendant and stuff like that. But anyway, she has her own YouTube channel, and she reached 500 subscribers recently and stuff. So she was celebrating that. I can show y'all. Look. Let's see. So I was sharing about that yesterday when I saw her celebrating. Listen, I remember, you know what I mean? I remember, the different milestones and stuff like that. And so, yes, we've been blessed to see the numbers that we currently have, but I remember when we worked hard to get to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So she's at 500. That was one of her milestones. Her YouTube channel, let's go to it. It's called MJAYYY99. Look, she's already surpassed the 500, and she has some, different lifestyle content, stuff like that. Film, fashion, and travel, food as well. You know what I'm saying? So check her out, man. Go support her. You know what I'm saying? She has been a supporter of GSL. I know in the beginning she was a financial supporter and whatnot, but stuff switched around with the way that we used to be able to get monthly support, because we used to be able to get it through the audio, and then the company sold to Spotify, and now they switched everything up. So if you want to support us, I mean, you can just join the Love Seeker Society here on YouTube, and obviously there's a little Cash App thing there too. But yeah, she's been a very awesome supporter. I've supported her in her business endeavors as well. She has a store called TTC Boutique. So we used to play her commercials and everything because she used to be a business supporter. Do I still got her stuff up there? Let me check it and see. But yeah, man, when I went on my cruise last year, I got me quite a few TTC Boutique outfits. Look, let me show y'all. Look, shout out to Michaela. Look, free promo, girl. I have another lady I want to shout out as well. But who knows, man? I'll be sitting here shouting out all day because there's so many amazing ladies in my life and doing a great, amazing things. I want to show y'all my cruise real quick. So there's some things that because I don't think I ever showed y'all anything about my cruise. I mean, I think I told y'all about it back in the day, but I didn't tell, I didn't show you guys anything. And since I'm just sitting here talking. so so yeah, this is she said sent me a little card. She gave me that I think I paid for the passport thing, or did she give it to me? I can't remember. And then I think she gave me that little bag for the little your my cords and stuff like that. So shout out to Michaela, man. She's really, really sweet. Finally got my passport, y'all. Listen, finally got it last year. Look, to God be the glory. Only been one place so far, but hopefully more and more to come. Let me show you guys some of my TTC boutique outfits, and then I'm gonna let y'all. Well, am I gonna let y'all go? I don't know. Now, is this too much? This is GSL, so it shouldn't be too much. This is like one of them little cover-up situations, you know what I'm saying? So the little pants and the little top came together. I had to get me my own little bottoms. But this is one of the outfits that was on TTC boutique, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get too much of my information. Hold on. This dress, which y'all should recognize this photo because this was in my music video. This is one of the images that was in my music video. But apparently you can wear it front and back. So, but I don't know. That's a little low for me to wear it the other way in the front. You know what I'm saying? But that dress was on ttcboutique.com as well. Yeah, I think those were the main two outfits that was from her boutique. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? So support people. You know what I mean? Support people. There's another lady, y'all may have seen her on the channel. Her name is Christina, and she opened up a building recently. Let me see. We're going shout her out, Miss Christina Jones. She had a powerful testimony, y'all, about some things that she went through in her younger years. So yeah, if you guys didn't see that episode, let me see. Can I find it real quick? Christina Jones, GSL. Yeah, it's I mean, she talked about being addicted to what was it? It was a spray, but what, air freshener, I guess. Being addicted to air freshener. She talked about like unfortunately being there's no better way to say it other than, I mean, well, y'all know what a train is, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the best way to say it, or is gang rape the best way to say it. I don't know, but basically, yeah, that multiple situation at one time, put it like that. Sexual encounters, like, so it's like people going through a lot of stuff, man. People who's going through a lot of stuff out here. Well, yeah, she came and shared that testimony. I think it was last year when her episode came out. I'm trying to see what it find. Yep, here it is. So overcoming sexual trauma. And then Christina Jones shared her healing journey. So yeah, about 10 months ago, she came on the channel. So if y'all want to hear her story, y'all can find that on, just look up her name, Christina Jones, and then look up God, Sex, and Love, and you should be able to see her show that she did with us. But recently she opened up a space. She had like a grand opening and whatnot. And so we were sharing about that because I mean, that's awesome. Let me see if I can show y'all that real quick. So she's posted here. She has opened up the Suppressed Wounds Redemption and Recovery in Chicago. So she did her ribbon cutting and everything like that, y'all. So, so many people are doing amazing things out here. You know what I mean? So we need to support people. You know what I mean? We need to, encourage people and stuff like that. So shout out to Miss Christina, man. You guys, could check her out if you're in the Chicago area, and if you guys need some help with some type, or maybe you guys can be of assistance and help someone else. I gotta, since I'm sitting here just still talking, let me give a shout out to my sister, man. She's doing amazing things as well. Y'all know the last time y'all seen her on this channel, we were giving out scholarships for her school. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all can always go get your hair done, you know, at Diva Styles. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's my sister right there. Yes, my baby sister. Yeah, And then let me see. And also, you know, if you want to learn a new skill, you know what I'm saying? You want to learn a new skill? Go check out Anchor for Phlebotomy, guys. Okay. There's the email and the phone number. Go learn you a new skill. Go learn phlebotomy. I don't know if that scholarship is still up for grabs that we gave before, but maybe it might be time to give, you know, another one to help somebody else. So, but all right, y'all. Well, let me, I guess, get ready to let y'all go because my computer is acting like it's not charging. This thing not plugged up. Oh, it's not. My bad. But all right, y'all. I guess I done did enough extra talking now. Y'all can have a great, great day. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow. If the Lord's will. We'll see, right? We'll see. Y'all have a great Wednesday. And yes, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow. If the Lord's will. Bye.